Ladies and gentlemen, please throw your hands in the air for the greatest podcast on earth when it comes to music, sports, and culture. Disabled is Abled with your host, Eli and Fredy. So put your hands together if you are ready to get the show started. Let's go. Peace. Welcome to another episode of Disabled is Able, where we, the disabled, show off our superpowers, our skills, our intellect, our intelligence when it comes to sports, when it comes to culture, when it comes to movies, when it comes to video games. Eli, how you feeling today?
I'm feeling good.
Shout out Fredy.
Shout out Fredy, who's practicing for finals.
He's preparing for his finals, and we wish him all the best.
Yes, sir.
Because he is now at the finish line, ready to get this done. What an amazing 4 years it has been.
Yeah, it went fast.
For that young man. And we want to send a shout out, let Fredy know we're proud of him for continuing to do what he does.
How was your weekend?
Weekend was eventful, man. As long as we have basketball for now, I am super duper excited. This thing is just starting to heat up. Yeah. Once we get rid of the underlinks, all top four teams in each conference advance, as we basically expected.
And I'm thinking about the bracket. Pretty much everybody who we expected to be here.
Yeah, everybody is here. And now this is when it gets a little bit more interesting and a little bit more serious. But before we get to that, let's get to some NFL news.
You're listening to the sounds of Disabled is Abled podcast.
Breaking news. The Honey Badger.
Yes.
Signs
a 3-year deal, $33 million with the New Orleans Saints.
Let's clap that up. I have to clap it up. I'm upset because it should have went to my Cowboys.
Yeah, I would have liked that pairing with him being behind Diggs.
Him and Diggs on each side,
or on the same side where you can't throw it to that side.
Yeah, I would probably split them up with Parsons bringing the pressure up front.
Yes, the pressure, yes.
That would solidify us. Dallas has always had a very good offense. They had the number one offense last year in terms of yards and stuff like that. Defense and coaching is the issue. But if you could have shored up that, so I'm disappointed. I'm happy for the Honey Badger, who really changed his life around.
Who changed his life around, who has a Super Bowl championship with the Kansas City Chiefs. He's a dynamic player all around. And I think it was, I believe he's going home. If I'm not mistaken, I believe he's from New Orleans.
Oh, okay. Oh, so, he played ball. Where did he play his college ball?
LSU.
Okay, that's Louisiana State.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe that
might affect his decision. I know the Chiefs drafted a safety, because I know he was pending between pretty much New Orleans and the Chiefs.
Okay.
The Chiefs ended up going into the draft and drafting the safety, which meant that they were going to move off of him.
Gotcha, for the money problem. Yeah.
And he made a good decision. Saints are good. I don't know who their quarterback is going to be.
Right.
I don't know if it's still going to be Jameis Winston.
Winston is pretty good. I mean, he made a lot of mistakes in Tampa, but they said he got his eyes fixed.
Right, with LASIK surgery.
Some of the decisions he was making was off of his eyeballs.
Yeah, so now here's the thing. I don't know if I still would have made that decision if Sean Payton is not there.
That is true. But Sean Payton is an offensive guru.
But still, he's
not
still
necessarily a defensive.
He's still a legendary coach that I would love to play for.
Yeah, but now here's the thing I want to throw in there, Eli. Going home is a gift and a curse.
You're right.
You know that. So I don't want him to get in familiar surroundings and start hanging out with bad people. I'm not even going to wish that on him.
Yeah, but I think he has a smarter head on his shoulders.
Okay, no, he's been demonstrating that he is
turn the corner,
and I want him to stay that way because a lot of haters be at home.
Yeah, that's true too.
I did this when you was a kid and give me some
tickets.
You owe me favors.
Yeah.
So I want him to stay focused. And then we had some other news. DeAndre Hopkins is suspended for 6 games for violating the performing enhancing drug policy.
Yes, that broke yesterday. He did come out with a statement saying he basically took full accountability.
And responsibility,
He
yes.
was saying that he has been, in his 10 years being in the NFL, he has been very careful in what he puts in his body. He doesn't know how his team and himself overlooked this.
You need your glasses clean?
No, I'm good. I'm just pointing out. He doesn't know how his team overlooked this, and he will be a lot more cautious and a lot more
Somebody's
protective.
got to get fired.
Yeah, because that has to be a team thing.
And your team of dietitians and health people, unless they've been with you for 10 years, and you grant them this one mistake.
Right.
But
Because I do know there are certain athletes where they'll take certain supplements and they don't know that performance enhancing drugs is involved.
ignorance of the law is no excuse.
True.
Meaning you have to, with all of these different supplements and people putting all kind of crazy things in them, you have to know what it is that you're putting in your body.
Yes, I will agree.
Because if you don't, it can cost you
Now-
some games.
The good thing is he'll still play for 11 games.
Yes.
Because especially with the extra game that they added last year,
Right.
you're not really missing a lot of time.
Right. You're missing
The first beginning place
Right.
of the season, but that's not the bulk of the season.
And if your team goes 4-2
or 3-3.
or 3-3, you're still coming into the season with an opportunity to make some, noise.
Yeah, but I'm happy he took accountability. I'm happy that he'll be more careful and cautious in the future, and hopefully he doesn't have to deal with this again.
Yeah, facts.
You're listening to the sounds of Disabled is Abled podcast.
Real quick before we move on, you want to glance over the draft real quick?
What was your take on the draft? They said the Jets did really good in the draft.
Yes, they said the Jets got, I think, 3 dynamic wide receivers
Yes.
for their offense. So now it's, and once again, this goes back to what Miami was doing in the offseason. It's on you now, Zach Wilson, to make this.
And they got that
come to
guy
life.
Sauce. And Saucy, is he a wide receiver?
Corner.
He's a corner. So and they got a corner out the deal. The Giants did very good with their the pass rusher that they picked up.
I was surprised with the number 1 pick. I thought it was going to go to Michigan, the defensive player.
Right.
It went to a linebacker who plays for Georgia, who won the championship for them.
Yes.
So that was nice.
And Georgia broke the record. They had 17 in the first round. I mean,
Wow.
7 players in the first round, but 15 altogether. Wow. That is a record. That means that they are cranking out professionals over.
Does that mean that next year Georgia's going to struggle on defense?
Not necessarily because, they probably would, but you get
that's a lot of players.
But you get the highest recruits
Right.
coming in, and colleges, you know how it is.
It's still a big school, yeah.
So Alabama does this all the time.
Right.
They trade play because the guys right under these guys are just as good.
Right.
Remember, they're not bringing in freshmen. They're bringing in juniors or sophomores who know the system. They're elevating them up.
Now, speaking on my team, the New England Patriots, we had a good pick and then a really confusing pick because we ended up drafting the fastest wide receiver in the combine.
Okay.
Love that move.
Yeah, no, speed kills.
Speed kills. And then we drafted a quarterback in the 4th round.
Yeah, that
And
one had
not
people scratching their heads.
Threw my head off because I trust and I like Mac Jones at the helm. Essentially, this is going to be his 2nd year
Yes.
under that programming. I mean, under that playbook and learning the film.
If you're a New England fan, you're expecting more this year.
But
that's a tough division.
That is a tough division now, especially with Buffalo and then with the move that Miami made and then now with the Jets. But Bill always confuses me with these picks.
Yeah.
Some of them are hits, some of them are
Most
misses.
of them are misses.
No, some of them, I feel like I'm 50 or 50.
New England is not known for drafting well.
Okay, that.
Okay? But we will see how those picks.
But other than that, I heard that the Broncos improved on their offense and on their defense.
Yeah, the Broncos are going to be a problem.
To help Russell Wilson.
Yeah, they're going to be a problem.
So, yeah. Those 3 teams, I will give the Jets, Broncos, and Who's the third team that we can say was successful?
Giants were pretty good.
And the Giants.
And, of course, Jacksonville getting the number pick twice in a row.
Y'all missed out on a key linebacker, I heard.
Yeah, we missed out on another key linebacker who had we paired him with Parsons. These guys would have been a terror. Then imagine we had got Honey Badger.
Right.
So now the front four and the back four.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm taking the jersey off. So, we'll see how that works out.
You're listening to the sounds of Disabled is Abled podcast.
Now, baseball.
Let's talk about the. You want to talk about the pitching? The baseballs?
Yeah, there's been some issues with actual baseballs. A lot of batters have been getting hit lately.
Yeah, and the pitchers
are saying
complaining.
It's the actual baseballs.
Right.
Like the material being used in the ball, and they would know because they're the ones who handle the baseballs more than anybody else. They said it changes. Here's the weird thing. They said it changes from inning to inning. Like, the first couple of innings, they're using one ball.
Right.
And then later on, they're using a different ball.
Sort of like in the NBA where they pick the 4 balls for the quarter.
Right.
The first quarter, second quarter, third.
Yes. So as a result of that, because even when the NBA changed the basketball to the Wilson basketball, there was some issues.
Yeah,
but you're not throwing the basketball at somebody's head.
Right.
Or inside pitching or,
especially
at
around
90 miles an hour.
90 miles an hour at top speed.
At top speed.
So, how do you think MLB will fix? I mean, because I think this will either the pitchers will adjust to the new equipment, or do they have to revert just back to their old material?
Well, the MLB's official statement is that they don't know what y'all talking about. They just said So they're in a plausible deniability stage.
Right.
And as a result, they're making the pitchers look crazy, and yet the pitchers are clunking people upside their head on an abnormal rate.
Do you think they did this so the velocity of the baseballs are not so high? Because I do remember last season wasn't the home runs like.
Well, 2 years ago, it seems like the baseballs had some kind of cork in them because they were flying out of the park.
Right.
Baseball is an entertaining sport, but their ratings are probably down. So anything that's going to add some kind of excitement to the game, you want to add, but don't put people's lives at jeopardy.
Yeah, at jeopardy, yeah.
With that. The Yankees and Mets are in first place.
Nice.
At this particular time.
Nice. I like it.
We like it. Here in New York, we like it.
Yeah, we need something. New York needs something because I know the Rangers are still in the playoffs, but we lost the Knicks, we lost the Nets.
Yes.
We need something.
Yes. So I like Buck Showalter over there, the Mets general coach. I liked him for years. He's tough. He's gritty. He knows the game. And the Yankees seem to have hitting their stride.
Yeah.
And their pitching at the same time appears to be better.
Now, it's still one season, so I'm hoping everybody stays healthy at the right times and right moments.
Oh, yeah. It's a very long season. That is the one thing about baseball. This thing is just getting started. And
with Toronto and Tampa kind of on our necks, it kind of seems like it's going to definitely be another tight division.
We're in Toronto right now, so for a 3-game set. We win the first one. Let's see what happens tonight.
Yes, sure.
On that game, the pitcher for the Dodgers, who got suspended. What's his name?
Got suspended for 2 seasons for domestic violence cases.
Yes. What's his name, Malcolm? The pitcher.
Trevor Bauer.
Now, here's the thing. He hasn't been found guilty in the court of law, but remember, all of these major league sports have the authority to suspend you anyway.
Okay.
And what happened was there was one woman who came forward. Now there are a series of women who have came forward to echo the sentiments of the first victim, and baseball has decided enough is enough for this guy's behavior. So give him some time off to think about the things he's done wrong.
Yeah. He needs help. He needs to go to therapy.
He's going to need some therapy, some help.
Do you think the MLB will eventually probably kick him out?
Well, I think he's at the end of his career.
Okay.
to begin with. But if he shows redemption, he shows that he's rehabilitated, he showed that he's cleaned himself up. Everyone deserves another opportunity at life.
Right.
But he has to demonstrate a code of conduct that is in alignment with baseball.
Definitely.
If not, good luck with that.
Right.
You're listening to the sounds of Disabled is Abled podcast.
Let's talk NBA action.
Yes, the second round started on Sunday afternoon. The first game was the Bucks and Celtics.
Bucks and Celtics, and I put an extra eyeball on this series, Eli. What I mean by that is I really wanted to see how Boston with
the sweep?
how Boston would handle a big team like Milwaukee.
Right.
Even though I knew Milwaukee didn't have its
Chris Middleton.
Chris Middleton, I still wanted to see.
Now, I do recall. First of all, who did you have winning the series? Because we didn't make our picks.
Well, I had Milwaukee coming out of the East. So
initially, but
after watching, I said Boston has a chance in a game 7.
Okay.
Right? So I wouldn't be surprised if it went 7
right.
and Boston closed the
it.
deal.
Okay, got it.
But my team coming out of the East, because they are the champs and you have to knock the champs off, is Milwaukee. So,
because when we was watching the game, I remember you saying that you forgot how big Milwaukee was.
I forgot with Lopez back, because remember, he didn't play the whole season.
Right, he's only played the last 12
13 games. And with him in there, people forget, he shoots the 3.
But that's only on offense.
But he's long on defense. He is a dog on defense.
Right. Along with Drew Holiday, who's like 6'6" at point.
Yes.
Or 6'5" at point.
Applying pressure. But at 6'4", he can also switch.
Right.
So if he winds up on Jason Tatum.
You got Bobby Portis coming off the bench.
And he's starting now because of Middleton. He's a dog.
Who can also shoot.
And you got Giannis. So it's a lot of dog meat in there.
Right.
And I think that's what we just got finished saying. Without Jason Tatum being a true alpha, this is where the problem is going to lie. Boston is too nice. Remove Marcus Smart.
Okay, yeah. It's the same thing we're going to say. Remove Draymond Green.
And they're just too nice. They're just a nice,
you get
a bunch of guys.
Right. Now, what was I going to say?
First of all, side note, Jaylen Brown keeps posterizing Giannis.
What are you talking about?
I got 4 games. They got 4 dynamic shots of Jaylen Brown cocking it on Giannis. Something about Giannis. I'll show it to you. Boy.
Okay.
But
I did pick Milwaukee, I think in 6, because they were the defending champs. They have no answer for Giannis. And here's the thing: they could have Boston got physical in the last series against Brooklyn, who was
Kevin Durant don't want no smoke.
Right. But Giannis does.
Giannis wants to smoke.
If you see on one play, Giannis is asking for the ball. He has Tatum on his hip.
Yes.
And he just moves Tatum out of the way.
Like he's not even there. And Giannis said in the post game, if I'm not bruised up after the game, I don't think I had a good game. So when you hear that, that means he's built for that. And this is a whole different animal.
Now, I did expect Tatum to go off in game 1 only because they don't have them not having a 3-and-D guy like Middleton to lock down Tatum on defense. I thought they didn't have an answer for that.
But guess what, Eli? When we start talking about elevating certain players to superstar status, that means you got to show up. So now, I'm not going to hold game 1 against him. If he don't show up tonight and give me 45, if that's what it takes, then I got to start saying, maybe we need to pull him down a notch or 2.
First of all, I feel like the media does that to to NBA players too quickly anyway.
Yeah, they elevate them
too quickly. We're already doing that with Ja, Trey, and Luka.
Yes. Well, I think Luka.
No, Luka's new, but I'm just naming.
He hit them with 45, 12, and 8 last night. He came to ball We'll talk about that in a minute.
In a minute, but back to Boston, and now what Milwaukee did was we're not gonna let Smart shoot threes on us, and we're not gonna let Tatum shoot threes on us.
We're gonna let everybody else shoot the threes,
and it's gonna mainly just be
Pritchard,
Pritchard and
Robin Williams, the light-skinned Williams,
right, and Al Horford.
Al Horford.
That's it.
So they give up a lot of threes, but they give up a lot of threes to your secondary and tertiary. Remember that word, tertiary options.
Right.
And in doing so,
and then it's like, okay, cool. They don't have an answer for Giannis. Also, Giannis because he's so big and dominant, you're either gonna allow him to get 50, and then take out his,
or you're gonna allow him to pick you apart.
Or you're gonna allow him to pick you apart. Because he gave them 12 assists.
Yeah,
easily.
Yeah. And 13 rebounds.
And 8 out of those 12 assists were 3-pointers.
Yeah, so that's gonna spell disaster. So tonight is the night for Boston.
Yes.
And we'll see what they're made of.
The second game we had was at 3:30. My Golden State Warriors facing the Memphis Grizzlies. And I think Jordan Poole heard me the last show.
Okay.
Because I told I need Jordan Poole to whip Jay's behind.
Yes.
Jaws behind. Because that most improved player deserved to go to Poole.
Yes, I agree. And
he gave me 31 off the bench, 8 assists, and 9 rebounds. Now, the
he
9 rebounds was unheard of.
Unexpected,
I don't think he'll do that tonight's game. Mm-hmm. Ja did show up, too. He had
35 or 34, yeah.
4 threes and a few assists.
Tell me about the ejection. Now that I look at it, I've never seen a player grab another player by the jersey, smack him in the face, and slam him to the floor, all in one motion. Yeah, I think that was a flagrant too. At first, I wasn't too sure. I'm like, come on, man, But when
first of all, you wasn't up to see the play.
No, I saw the replay.
You saw the replay
in 4 different angles and super duper slow.
Now, I will admit, from the first angle, I'm thinking, okay, flagrant 1.
Right.
Because I remember I'm watching play. I'm like, okay, that's definitely flagrant 1. Because I definitely thought he pulled them by the jersey.
Yeah.
When they showed the different angle, I saw the slap in the face. I was like, okay.
Yeah. The slap in the face, and then take this with you.
But and that's a flagrant. Both of those were flagrant 1s combined. You get a flagrant 2.
Yes, yeah. And then when you add
his
reputation into the mix.
Like you said.
Now, this game still came down to the wire.
Now, with that being said, when Draymond got ejected, we was only down by 1 point. Mm-hmm. They went up 6 at halftime. And I was like, okay, that might be the momentum switcher because majority of the game we was neck and neck. Mm-hmm. They kick out Draymond, that gives us a boost. Now, Curry gives me 24. Poole gives me another 8, which in total gave us 31. Mm-hmm. And then Clay, who is the most clutch warrior on this entire dynasty squad, always hits the big time shots when I need him to.
Mm-hmm. But he missed 2 free throws.
Which was weird.
1 free throw, okay, but 2?
And ultimately, we shouldn't have won that game.
You stole one, yes.
We absolutely stole one because on top of Draymond getting ejected, they called a charging foul on Curry, which I thought was a blocking foul.
They let Jared Jackson go off for 35. That won't happen again. And it was abundantly clear they wanted Memphis to win this game. Long story short. Yeah, I agree, but it also shows the young team that Memphis is.
Yes.
They were making young mistakes. Instead of the NBA saying, come on, we're trying to help you, man.
Right.
Instead of them knowing, okay, let me get it together, to make this a series, so to speak. So that's the difference between championship caliber team
and I hope
Minnesota a year away.
Right. And I hope Minnesota kind of relaxes on the whole being too confident thing.
Memphis.
Memphis,
yeah, they came out a little too cocky.
They came out a little too cocky, and it was very surprising because I'm like...
Well, when they showed the offensive... When y'all put y'all def lineup out there, y'all have the best offense.
And when they put out their defensive lineup...
They got the best defense. So that's going to... Oh, this is going to be a good game tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The pressure's on Memphis. I hope they do win. I don't think they will, but we'll see.
No, Memphis has to win tonight or the series is over.
Yeah, same thing with Boston. Boston got to win. I don't think they will, but Boston might.
But I think Memphis has a better shot because there are no injuries, right? They got a full squad.
All right, because Marcus Smart
is going to tip the scales because not only does he he's the Draymond Green of the Celtics. Right. He moves the ball, he defends, and he hits the three when wide open.
Somebody who does scare me in the Memphis Golden State series is Bane.
Oh, yeah.
He only had 9 points the first game. I expect him to have 30.
Yes.
But I need us to... It has to be an impactful 30.
Yes. Well, usually his weather is wet. It was dry last night and another night. So that's the problem. His weather was dry. So we'll see how that works out.
Third game was, I believe, Miami and Philly.
Miami and Philly, this is going to be a wash.
Yeah, that was
what happened to James Harden, bro?
He's gone. I didn't even.
He hasn't had.
By the time I tuned
points.
into the game, they was up by 20. I checked out.
Did you see Max Seal? That kid did not want to sit next to James Harden
on the bench. I saw a bit of a clip.
Oh,
but what? Can you kind of break down what happened?
His name is
Maxwell.
Max Seal or whatever.
Maxie.
He sat down. James Harden tried to sit next to him. He moved. James Harden tried to sit next to him again. He moved again.
Wow.
So that tells me that there's some internal strife. What happened to James? What happened to get by you? The weather from anywhere?
Okay. So my analysis is part of it has to do with his hamstring. From last year.
And he parties too much.
He partied way too much. We've been saying that
for years.
We've been saying that for years.
And I think it's finally caught up to him.
We've been saying that for years.
Yeah.
You get blown out on your home court.
And you go to a club.
And you go to the club right after.
You're the last person I want to see. I'm a Houston Rockets fan. You're the last person I want to see coming in the club. And you coming and talking about, hey, no.
Bro.
Go home and contemplate what you did. Wrong. 2 for 75 or whatever.
I feel like his best year was when he was with Chris Paul. Chris Paul,
but he hated that year because Chris Paul held him accountable.
But first of all, he was in the best shape of his life.
Yes, he was.
He won MVP.
Yes.
They had the #1 seed.
Yes.
And if Chris Paul doesn't, well, look, I still think Golden State.
But he did not want that. And him and Chris Paul, had they came back the next year, they probably would have. Look at what Chris Paul is doing wherever he goes.
Yeah.
He transforms franchises. I'm secretly rooting for Chris Paul this year.
Yeah, just like last year. Wasn't you doing that last year?
Yeah, I was.
Why is it a secret? Okay.
Well, I'm just saying, not secretly, but I'm rooting for him.
Yeah, nah, I get it.
He deserves to put one on.
Jeez. But no, and the second thing was the hamstring. Also, do you think he's sabotaging Doc Rivers? Do you think he really is trying to get rid of Doc?
Stephen A. Smith had that as a conspiracy theory, that he's trying to get rid of Doc Rivers as the coach.
Because he's been doing that for the last everywhere he goes.
But he's been doing it everywhere he goes.
No, I'm talking about the sabotaging.
Yeah.
He put on a body weight to look fatter.
Yeah, he did a whole bunch of weird things. I just think he's washed. And Embiid is going to come back in game 3. And it's going to be too
drastically.
Yeah.
It wasn't even slow. Like, it wasn't like...
Look at Westbrook.
Okay, yeah, that happened. But that one was
the same class just about.
Okay, but that one was to be expected, though. Because
look at Durant. Ooh, drop a bomb to that. Drop bomb there. Yeah, drop bomb.
No, Durant, I think, just realized playing with your best friends ain't always
what it's cracked up to be.
And last game, we have Phoenix and Phoenix and Dallas.
Phoenix is a machine. I just have to admit it, bro. As much as you keep waiting for the chink in the armor to fall and this and that, they're just a machine. They hit more mid-range jumpers in that game than everybody did on the Utah Jazz the whole series before that.
Wow.
In one game. They are the mid-game range masters.
They are.
And
along with DeRozan being
what they play smart basketball. Ayton was eating.
Chris Paul had a curfew for them in New Orleans.
Chris Paul, he had a curfew for
that
them.
wasn't the coach.
That's leadership.
That was just like, yo, everybody has a curfew.
That's leadership.
Yeah.
Let's get these boys out of here.
Yeah.
Because they starting to get a little cocky talking about the Pelicans.
Yeah.
Right? Let's get them out of here.
Yeah.
And now you're in a series where you got to beat one guy.
How does Devin Booker look to you?
Huh?
How does Devin Booker look?
He looks not 100%, but he had 23 and 8 assists. There's no restrictions on him in terms of minutes. I think if this is the best he's gonna be because you don't have time to heal.
Right.
Ain't no healing season is over. So whatever injuries, but everybody's dealing with injuries at this time of the year. Nagging this, nagging that.
Right. Want to make a quick PSA, just real quick. I'm the biggest Chris Paul hater.
Yes.
In this room. Now, Hall of Fame player, undoubtedly, no question. But I'm the biggest Chris Paul hater. Now, if Chris Paul gets a championship this year, I will get a Chris Paul jersey in Phoenix colors or whatever team he ends up.
You heard it here first.
If he ends up winning it this year, because I don't think there's two teams that's going to be in his way. My Golden State Warriors team and the Milwaukee Bucks.
And the Bucks.
Boston, to me, might have a shot, but to me, the two teams that he needs to get over is Steph Curry's Warriors and the team that beat you last year.
Yes.
If he can get those
He does that.
If he does that.
Then I'm going to even catapult him top 5 point guards.
Is he not in your top 5?
He might be there already, but this just will, whoever was right in front of him, he's going to jump him.
Hold up, bro. Where do you have Steph on your list?
Steph is top 10 right now.
Without Finals MVP?
Steph will be there. I think Steph has another 5 years.
No. But I'm saying,
Okay.
Because
you got Magic.
No. I'm not debating your list. I'm just saying, does he need to have the Finals MVP?
No.
To be in your top 10?
No. That adds it. He's a 3-time champion.
Side note, I always thought that debate was stupid.
He's the all-time, you know what I'm saying, 3-point shooter. Mm-hmm. His win percentage is blah, blah, blah.
Right.
But he still has a good 4 years left to solidify what his spot is going to be.
Yeah. But if Chris Paul can get past those two teams, I'm going to get a Chris Paul jersey.
So I think the Suns will make short work of Dallas.
When
I say short, I say 5. Definitely no more than 6
because
games.
I saw the scheme that Dallas was trying to do, and it's not going to work against them.
They need...
And you need a co-star.
You
need a co-star.
Yeah, and
now,
Brunson, they said the defense Booker played on Brunson was different than what Donovan Mitchell, because Donovan Mitchell don't play defense. Side note, Rudy Gobert they said is going to demand a trade. You either trade me or Donovan.
They're probably going to trade
Mitchell.
him. They're probably going to trade him. Also, y'all need to apologize to Rudy Gobert. Talking about the critics, talking about the media. Y'all need to apologize to Rudy Gobert.
Why?
The reason why I say this is because it's not his fault. He's doing his job. His job is to, as a center,
man the paint, grab rebounds,
and block.
And that's what he's saying. He's saying if you look at me and Donovan Mitchell, he's dropped off. He's not as explosive as he used to, and he don't play no defense. So you ask me to grab 15 rebounds,
and it's funny,
get 3 blocks, and grab 12 points, I'm doing that.
Right, and it's funny because...
But can he put people in the seats? No.
No, absolutely not. But it's funny because when you think of, when you talk about me, I'm a very in-the-moment type of person.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I wear my emotions on my sleeve, obviously. Now, when I go back and rewatch that series and that tape and the series prior to them always not getting out of the first or second round, I'm realizing, Rudy Gobert is not the problem. It's the pieces around them. You have credit to Bogdanovic and Joe Ingles who can play defense.
Yeah.
But it's only for
short periods of time. And
as a defender, what most people, they cannot, it's the same thing as running around trying to guard Klay Thompson and Steph Curry for 24 seconds. Those last 4 seconds, you're going to give up.
Yeah, you're going to give up. Yeah.
All Rudy has to do is rebound and block. Now, if you put the
right schemes on him, it makes him look incompetent.
Right.
Even though he's not incompetent, you put him in the pick and roll. You put that player in the corner, and he has to, by basketball rule, go out there.
And that's not his job.
Yeah.
So, because I did see on certain defensive schemes, Donovan Mitchell was definitely lacking. Like, just like people go right past him.
It's sort of James Harden-ish.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're listening to the sounds of Disabled
Pause.
is Abled podcast.
Let's talk culture. The Winning Time series is amazing.
Yes, it is.
I think they will win Emmys.
I think they will too. We have, as far as we know, we have one more episode this Sunday.
Yeah.
Season finale. Or hopefully.
And that's probably when they win the championship.
right.
And bring it all home
Right.
for the first season.
The last episode was very emotional. If
Yes.
you haven't watched it,
Yes, go
watch
see it. Go see
Yeah.
it.
But
And it puts sheds light on all that Dr. Buss was going through at the time.
yeah, and Jeannie.
And Jeannie. That young girl had a lot of stress on her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So DC and the Warrior Brothers, who are they?
I mean, Warner Brothers. The company.
Oh, okay. It says Warrior Brothers. Mommy made your secretary made a mistake.
Okay, now, I just wanted to talk just a little bit of comic book news. Warner Brothers is selling everything. They have this merger with Discovery. They just broke that deal, and they're selling everything. So everything on the left side of the
So what can we buy, fellas? Can we purchase Superman? Oh, that's not one of them.
They're pretty much everything they're doing. They're moving to HBO.
Okay.
So if you have the HBO Max subscription, you're good.
Mm-hmm.
They want to match up with Disney Plus.
They're trying to be comparable.
They're trying to make a DC version of Disney Plus with Marvel and their whole universe, and they're trying to match up with that. I think it will be somewhat successful, but trying to find a Kevin Feige, who is the co-runner of Marvel's Overseer, and everything, is going to be extremely hard because he's a one-of-a-kind talent.
Got you.
But I'm hopeful for DC. Me personally, I'm a DC fan more than Marvel, just slightly.
Okay.
But we'll see what happens. And Marvel news, Doctor Strange comes out this Friday.
Oh, there we go, baby. Starting to heat up now. We'll definitely go see this.
It's gonna have to be next week though, because I'm a bit busy.
Yeah,
But-
and we like to let the rush go through.
Right. But I'm very excited for this.
Yeah, this one seems to
I know
be-
you're a big fan of Doctor Strange.
I'm a big fan of Doctor Strange.
So yeah. But other than that,
All right, well, where can we be reached, man?
we can be reached on Twitter, YouTube, iTunes, SoundCloud at Disabled Podcast. Like, comment, subscribe on all platforms, and we guys will see you next week.
And
Playoff
Freddie,
time.
keep studying, baby.
Yes, sir.
Peace.
Ladies and gentlemen, please throw your hands in the air for the greatest podcast on earth when it comes to music, sports, and culture. Disabled is Abled with your host, Eli and Fredy. So put your hands